Hey, welcome back to the channel. I thought I didn't need any money to buy a house with a VA loan. Why are there closing costs? So here's the deal. Everybody who buys a home has some type of closing costs. I don't care what type of financing you're using or if you're a cash buyer. We're talking about VA loans here. In New Jersey, in our service area, what we find on average is that the closing costs associated with you buying your house tend to range in the 4 to 5% range of the purchase price. It's not an exact science, and we don't know that exact number early in the process. It's just an estimate. So who pays for that? So as a veteran, you're more than happy, more than welcome to pay for it. Perfectly fine if you have that cash available. But what we find also is that the VA allows us to ask the seller to pay for it. So let's just take an example. Let's say it's a $100,000 house, and we know your closing costs are going to be about $5,000. By the way, there's no $100,000 houses around here anymore, but it's a good number to use for an example. So we can ask the seller and say, hey, we'd like to buy this house. Here's $100,000 on our offer, and we'd like a $5,000 credit towards closing costs. Now, the first thing that's important for us to understand is the seller obligated to accommodate us? And the short answer is no, the seller is not obligated to accommodate us. So in this example, the follow-up question is, well, can I finance them? Well, let's go back to that first example. $100,000 house, $5,000 towards closing costs. If the seller says yes to that, what does that really mean? If we read between the lines, that's a discount on the house from the seller's perspective. The seller is really getting $95,000 for that house. So in reality, we could have purchased this house for $95,000, right? But we're buying it for $100,000. So in a way, we're kind of financing the closing costs. Now, there are some other situations too where your lender may be able to provide what we call a lender paid credit to offset some of your closing costs, but the seller is not obligated to pay these closing costs on your behalf. Now, what we also find is if we're in a very competitive situation with multiple offers, most sellers are going to say, hey, thanks, but no thanks, right? They're not going to want to put a discount on it. And now the follow-up to the follow-up is, well, what if I offer the seller $105,000, right? And I ask for $5,000 back. Now they're getting the $100,000 price that they were asking. True, but now we have to be comfortable and confident that the house will actually appraise for the $105,000 in our example. Hope that makes sense. Thanks for watching.